Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Tensei Shitara Ken Deshita, episode 10, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I am, though. I think I know which file I opened, and it was indeed episode 10. In the previous episode, in episode 9, um, actually just a single thing really happened in that episode, and that was the friendly spar, the duel between Fran and Amanda. There wasn't really much more to that episode, as much as I would like to say there was. No, it was just a duel. It was a great duel, like, don't get me wrong. It really did show us the power that Amanda wields, the power that Fran wields, her unique usage of the abilities she has. And it helped establish the relationship between Fran and Amanda a little bit better. It's a little less purely comedic nowadays. Um, After that episode was done, the relationship was established to be a little bit more serious and not just done purely for comedic relief, purely for comedy. So that was cool. And at the end of that episode, we saw the entrance to the dungeon and the dungeon boss. Or did we see the dungeon boss in episode 8? I don't know. Could have been either, honestly. But yeah, we now know that the dungeon houses some sort of a drider, some sort of an arachne, and we're going in there, and we're gonna hopefully, maybe, probably uh, defeat that boss and go about our merry way. One more thing that happened in the previous episode, actually. It wasn't just a duel with Amanda, it was also a duel with that other adventurer guy who thought he's hot shit, but turned out he was just shit. Not even lukewarm, at least compared to Fran, because sure, maybe in his own, you know, in his own bracket among adventurers, he's perfectly adequate, but compared to Fran, not really. I'm afraid, not really. No. And yeah, Fran now has some acquired some newfound respect of the other adventurers, and probably a friend along the way. Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen in this episode. I mean, we're gonna delve into the dungeon. That much is for sure. That it's what's gonna happen. Besides that, though, I don't know. So how about we know? We see and we watch and we hear and we learn. And to do that, you're gonna need your subs, of course. I'm gonna need my sound. And I'm gonna have to ask you for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily. Patreon, throw links in the description below. Or share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing and it helps the channel a lot. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 10 of Tensei Shitara Ken Deshita in 3, 2, 1, go. Whomst. No, that's the arachne from the dungeon. And the guy wearing a cloak. Some sort of a villain, some sort of an antagonist, that much is pretty apparent. But what was that potion? What was he doing there? That much we don't know. Someone who holds a grudge against Fran, but who would it be? Everybody who held any sort of a grudge against her is either imprisoned or dead, so not many people left. Possibly some bigger plot unveiling? Like someone going around using that weird potion to awaken the bosses of random dungeons or something like that. Maybe the Goblin Dungeon Emerging was also their doing, and now they brought the Arachne a bunch of, I don't know, crystal meth or other stimulants or something. I don't know. It seems like a plot common enough to just about maybe be the case. Yeah, we only see the Arachne in that shot. We don't see anybody else. So, I don't know. Yeah, the totally unfair spider traps. Nobody else gets any stats. Just Dragon's Roar member and name. Uh, Technically, spiders aren't bugs. No, they are. They aren't insects. That's some great music in the background. Enemies. Okay, all of them have the same kind of folding spear. That's cool. Although I do have to question the viability of a party that consists of 4 fighters. Not terrible CG, honestly. Pretty good, actually. And any sort of moment of impact isn't actually CG. Okay. uh, I love those goobers. There's ants on my camera. There's ants fucking everywhere. Yeah, easy solution. Maybe kill them first, scavenge later. I mean, you can't deny that. She does have an arsonist heart. Okay. A distinction. Interesting. I'm guessing you're born with one of them, you can train the other, and some other is like unique to a person. Okay, so melee attacks enhanced with magic. Yep. That wasn't a thrust, my guy. That wasn't a thrust. Okay, so we learn arts just randomly. You use your sword long enough, you suddenly get an epiphany that, hey, I could try thrusting, and the thrust is really strong, and that's your new art. Okay, understandable. That face. Yeah, you shouldn't. Everybody just stepped on one, of course. Thankfully non-lethal. No, it's another trap. Oh, I thought it's just like dead fish falling from the sky, but no, it's just bitey maggots. The worst trap of them all, the ball smasher. Yoink it! I mean, no, they don't have the ability to, like, clone a skill, only steal it. Okay, so they're very unique abilities, essentially. And magic is just fireballs and shit that you can learn, probably. And you're probably born with affinity for one particular element. Okay. Yeah, elemental affinity. Classic. Then you wet your bed. Yeah, it does sound kind of boring. Just running naked through the fields. Besides, there's no wind here. Did his voice change? I don't remember his voice sounding like that. Was about to say that those aren't bullets, but okay, they are. Okay. Try it out. And probably water as well. What if she combines all three of them, though? Hmm. Could it be a Chekhov's gun in the making? You get a bowl of curry. King of Tabemono. Yeah? I mean, the previous episode was all about building that relationship, and today we see the payoff. Fran sharing her curry. But not unheard of, is what I'm hearing. Okay, she's asking, am I the body, essentially? No, it's just a tool. All that matters is how you use it. Right, summoning. We do have something, some like pet to summon. Get that skill from the previous dungeon. Makes sense, actually. I like it, provides a little bit of an explanation. Ah, you just had to say it. You just had to say that it's too easy. Interesting. What counts as an equip? Biri biri. Biri biri, Fran. uh, and she's gonna use it. Guaranteed. Probably during the boss fight. And thunder magic has been unlocked. There we go. Storm magic. And thunder magic. Two at the same time? I guess nobody noticed, or it was just in her head. Yeah. Convenient, isn't it? And she's just watching from the sidelines. shouldn't have gone there before it's disarmed. Okay, 6th floor. You're not gonna fight the boss? Just gathering cores and going back? Okay, that guy uses kukri. Interesting. Lethal poison. Okay. I mean, you are getting deeper into the dungeon. Trick Spider. Well, someone overrode those settings. Probably the mysterious figure in a cloak with the bottle of something red. Time to burn. Or zap! Biri time? Should have probably used fire, but sure. Passage even lower. Stun. Time for a stun. Or not. Just everybody being sent down. Q doors shutting behind. Q a teleport. Okay. I guess that also works. And they're getting sent to the boss chamber, probably. Jump after her. Oh! 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 Well, shit! Okay. Well, shit. I'm assuming the magic and the skills and the abilities that Shishou imparted on Fran at least didn't get unequipped. A new dungeon master? Probably. No, it's just a scabbard. The boss. An arachne. Or whatever they want to call it. Sure. I guess that works for a name. Really? Do you need like a permanent contact? Okay. We're in a bit of a precarious situation, aren't we? I did not expect that. I I honestly did not expect Fran to ever get separated from Shishou. But I guess it makes sense to, like, from a storytelling standpoint, to do that sooner or later. Interesting. Interesting how they're gonna get out of it. Reminds me a little bit of a similar thing they did in the recent episode of Symphogear. I've been watching where the characters were usually uh, like connected into pairs, and they would always fight in pairs. And oh no, suddenly they are mixed up, and they're no longer with their usual partners. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna fight? Right? And I had to overcome it. And this is similar. This is similar in a way, in the same way, where you've come to expect that this is the status quo and it's never gonna change. But here, haha, it's changed. The wolf summoned hither. Right, they do have the summoning magic as well. Will Shishou summon a wolf to sniff out Fran? Or is wolf summoning a skill that Fran got and not Shishou? I don't know. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. But what we will see about right now is this episode again, shall we? Oh, fuck. No, didn't spill anything. Yeah, this weird shadowy figure with a flask of glowing red something. Probably used to evolve one of the trick spiders into a trickster spider. Maybe used to summon the trickster spider, something like that. I don't know. We will see. Uh-huh. Oh, right. This is. Did I already mention that? I'm not sure. It's been a while since I last recorded this series, so I'm not sure. But all those like rock formations and them fighting among rocks, and there was a mention of, oh no, don't burn the forest down. And I would praise the series for creating very unique trees. Oh, they look like rocks, but they're trees. Wow, that's cool. That's cool world building. That's cool. Creating your own ecosystem. No, it turns out that in the original series, in the source material, this is a forest, but in the anime they just turn them into rocks. Happens. They turned them into rocks, but didn't change the lines. So yeah, whatever. A bit of a side note. Yeah, that's the wolf. Probably gonna summon it in the next episode. Plenty of obstructions, stone pillars, and yeah, just the red guy gets an introduction. Krab 23 human fighter, not even particularly much of an introduction. The others are just name of Dragon's Roar, and that's it. Now, to be fair, the other adventurers also just get introduced by. No, they don't even get introduced by name. Just rear guard from Eyes of the Forest. Cool. Welcome, rear guard Chan. Freon. I have to check something when it comes to Freon. Uh-huh. Gotta check out the voice actor because I have the distinct feeling that his voice actor has changed. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably just misremembering his name. No, just a single voice actor is listed. Yeah, Yo Kitazawa. Mm, out of curiosity, what did who did Yo Kitazawa also voice? Anybody I recognize? It's not a voice I would recognize, honestly. Higari Majima from Boku no Hero Academia. Haven't seen it. And a bunch of super old shows. Very few shows, actually. I guess it makes sense that I wouldn't recognize this name. Yeah, the voice actor didn't change. I was mistaken. That explains things. This dungeon was a hotspot for adventurers, but too many people lost their lives here, so it was abandoned for the most part. And she decided to open an orphanage. Superior hearing, jump 1, poison spray 1, web sling 2, trap sense 2, create trap 1, UV vision, shed skin, create poison, poison fang. A lot of poison and a lot of trap making. Let me look at the CGI really quick, because it's actually decent. Yeah, the only thing that I have to uh, take note of is that the spiders are animated on ones. Honestly, if they were animated on twos, I probably wouldn't be able to tell that they are CG. They're done really fucking well. Yeah, it's just the movement on ones that betrays them. But spiders are fairly easy to make in CG, right? Because they have hydraulic joints that just move in one direction, very robotic. The same reason why making robots in CG is fairly easy. It's very hard to tell a CG robot from a drone robot. Same goes for spiders. They have a limited range of motion. Yeah, that's really good. If not for 60 FPS, trap spider, monster insect. Spiders aren't insects, they're arachnids. Oh well. Let's go, Dragon's Roar. And yeah, these spiders get dispatched quickly. Webs are a hassle, not particularly dangerous, and you can harvest the web, or at least the substance they use to create web, directly out of them, which I guess is reasonable, right? Spider silk, very strong material, probably priced really high in like textile industry. They're treating her like an arsonist in the making. I mean, makes sense. She is an arsonist in the making. And yeah, this episode also shows how much Fran's approach, or rather, Fran and Amanda's relationship has changed, and it's less, as I said at the beginning, less for a comedic effect and more like actually pupil and mentor kind of sort of deal. I like it. I would have hated for Amanda to just be nothing but comedic relief. Just a character that her whole personality is chasing after Fran and drooling and that's it. No, she is her own character. I like it. I really do. Difference between arts, skills, and stuff. So arts is essentially all of those are based on mana, on magic, but arts make you imbue something with strength, with power. You either use magic to strengthen your body or to imbue your weapon with additional properties or something like that. That's arts. And you learn arts by executing a move similar or the MP flowing through your body just right. So essentially, you're doing I don't know, a crosswise slash like that, and it just so happens that there exists an art named crosswise slash, and you slashed crosswise so good that you suddenly get a divine inspiration that, hey, maybe I'm not just gonna do a crosswise slash, I'm gonna do a crosswise slash, and that's gonna be all the more powerful. That's cool. That's a cool method. And of course, you can learn arts by learning from an experienced teacher because that experienced teacher can show you exactly how that art is performed. And then you keep repeating that movement, you keep repeating that attack until it becomes an art, essentially. Traps. And skills are divine gifts the world grants us when our souls are sufficiently trained to use them. So basically, you have enough experience in combat, you gain some skill. You turn 27, you get some skill. You baked 78 pies, and that's a requirement needed to get a skill of Pie Master, right? Things like that. Okay, okay. Also, unique skills and bonus skills that just gods throw at you just like that. And skills are unique enough because they are divine gifts that some might be beyond our ability to define properly. So, a skill that doesn't necessarily fall into any category. You can't say it's a trap disarming skill, you can't say it's a healing skill. It's a skill that does some mixture of many things, and you don't really have a name for what it does, but it does what it does. And magic is just manipulating mana outside of the body. Arts are manipulating it inside of the body, magic is outside of it. So casting fireballs and stuff. Earth, wind, fire, and water, as usual. Expanded versions of them. Elemental affinity. And you need to check your affinity by doing various things. If you want to check affinity for water, you do water. You want to check affinity for fire, you lit yourself on fire. You want to check your affinity for earth, you eat dirt and bury yourself alive. Okay, I like it. I like it that there doesn't seem to be the usual thing like a magic 8 ball somewhere in the Adventurers Guild. Oh, please put your hand on it. Oh, you have affinity for this and for this and for that, and also your class is an archer. No, it's more. How should I say it? It's more ingrained in the world. It's not like just like a game mechanic. It's actually something that makes sense and has an explanation and has a certain procedure. Thumbs up. Thumbs up for world building. Initially, my impressions weren't great when it comes to that stuff because everything seems gamified. But it's from the perspective of Shishou, so that probably makes it easier for him to see those things. But I like that all that stuff, or at least most of it, is actually explained from like a in-world standpoint. Always a fan of that. More spooders. And you can combine two elements, like combining, what is it? Yeah, water and earth to create some plants that shoot some seeds, ice magic, sand magic, and biri magic. But yeah, what happens when you use all three of them? There's nobody born with three abilities. Well, not nobody. Very few people born with three affinities. So, has there any research been done? Has it been categorized? Probably not. It's gonna be interesting to see when it happens, because I fully believe that it is going to happen. Fran using all three affinities at the same time. Perhaps even four. I mean, who's to say she's not gonna learn water magic eventually, right? Uh-huh. Let's take a break. Yeah, it's a safe house, essentially, like in, I don't know, Couch Zombies or something. Fran sharing her carry, that's uh, that's big. That's really big. Yeah, she must trust Amanda now, very much so, to share her beloved carry with someone. You don't understand. Fran is sharing her carry, which means she's going to have one portion of carry less. That's big. That's super fucking big. And there are, of course, other elements like dark and light. N- Using dark magic doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad guy. The way you use it defines whether you're a bad guy or a good guy, not the fact that you have it. A fire magic user can be an arsonist, and a dark magic user can be a helpful adventurer. There's no rule to that. Again, thumbs up. Too many to remember them all. Yeah, summoning, healing, yada yada yada. And that also explains why Shishou has so many skills. Because he's been absorbing them from monsters, and monsters have a much easier time learning new arts, new skills, new abilities, stuff like that, because they live on magic, they live on mana. It's circulating through them all the time. Great. More traps, stronger enemies, teleporters, foreshadowing, unequip. Again, foreshadowing. I didn't see that before, but makes sense. And of course, Fran wants to Biri Biri. And Fran is going to Biri Biri sooner or later. Unlocked storm magic because of wind and fire are at 10. Why thunder magic though? I don't know. Apparently, you get one and then you get one for free or something. We have both storm magic and thunder magic. That's all that matters. And she can make things go Biri Biri. I wonder if this is something in Fran's mind, did she actually do it and use thunder magic just like that and nobody noticed? I don't know. Tree Spirit Juran. Juran. Spirit magic is useful because you can just tell the spirits what to do. Antidote. Again, bit of foreshadowing. If you're poisoned, you get antidote and you're all better. But what if the poison is really strong and the antidote doesn't work? Sixth floor. Yeah, we're gonna grab some gems, some crystals, and then we get back. Stronger spiders with lethal poison. Interesting that it's like specifically lethal poison. What was that other poison then? Just a make you feel ill poison? Paralyzing poison or something like that? Was the purpose of the poison the previous spiders had not to be lethal? I don't know. Maybe it's called lethal poison because it's simply so much stronger. There's like, I don't know, weak poison, poison, lethal poison, deadly poison, master poison, or, some other like ranking of strength. Could be it. But thankfully, Fran can just use antidote magic, and lethal poison is nothing against Fran's magic. Guild settings should only be summoning trap spiders. Interesting to hear settings, because I was just praising this series for kind of scraping off the gamification and showing that what lies underneath actually makes sense in the world. But now I hear settings, and I see the guild member pressing like a fingerprint into the dungeon core, and then a holographic menu pops up, and the guild member just slides some sliders and sets some values and presses buttons. And I hope that's not the case, but who knows. But yeah, interesting that when the dungeon is under your control, you can, well, control it. You can tell what monsters should be spawning, what traps should be there, what traps should not be there. Interesting. Interesting, and it makes sense what we learned earlier, that conquered dungeons, you don't destroy the dungeon core because those dungeons can be mined and farmed for resources. You need, I don't know, hellbore tusks because there is a shortage in the country. So you go to a dungeon, you set the settings to start spawning hellbores, and you send adventurers, and they bring you hellbore tusks, and suddenly there is no more of a shortage. That's actually a cool system. I like it. I wonder what the I wonder what the economy is like in this world with those dungeons being in place, where you could technically maybe, like, I don't know, there's a shortage of iron, so let's change settings to summon iron golems, and we're gonna get iron. How do the prices work? Can you flood market with just an overabundance of easily farmed iron, or is there a cap to it? Or, oh, that's interesting. Can you like infinitely farm spider venom? Can you infinitely farm iron? Can you infinitely farm hellbore tasks? Right? Retreating. I really thought this is gonna be the moment where Fran, the big shocker, the big reveal is, oh, Fran just heard of compound magic and now she already knows thunder magic. How did it happen, Fran? Are you even more of a prodigy than we thought? As she casts stun on Victor and Bowles. But no, something very different. They get thrown into the teleporter and get teleported. Uh, One thing I gotta say, like, I know why it's done because it's always done. They're talking, they have so much time to just jump back onto the stairs and run away. Amanda has a lot of time to jump in with them, but none of that happens. They're just standing there and waiting for something to happen, not running, not trying to recoil, nothing. Just, oh, I guess this is my life now. I hope I don't end up in a wall. I know there's a staircase behind me and I could escape, but nah. Uh, I'm kind of resigned to my fate right now. Where's this teleport gonna start? I'm waiting here. Right? That's that kind of a situation. Like, I understand that they have to get teleported because story, but I'd rather it be instantaneous rather than giving them the time to escape, but they don't use that time to escape. Or at least give some additional explanation, like, I don't know, they step onto the teleporter and a grate just falls down and blocks their way out, right? Or they get onto the teleporter and they get hit with, I don't know, stun magic or freeze magic or paralyze magic, and they just can't move. They just can't run. They have to wait for the teleporter to start and teleport them. You know, something. Because as it is now, they could have run. They could have escaped. Teleport and a force unequip. Indeed. She looks cool with a sword. Gotta say. Teleportation location got changed. Yeah, there's one monster, the Trickster Spider. This is interesting. Without teacher, I can't use any skills or magic. I thought the way imparting skills works is that Shishou gives her those skills and she just has them, and that's just it. But this tells me that she either has to physically have Shishou with her, either in the scabbard or in her hands, or at least she have Shishou in her vicinity, and only then can she use imparted skills, or Shishou has to actively impart selected skills for like a single use. Fran wants to use Fireball, so Shishou imparts a single use of Fireball onto Fran, so she can use the Fireball. And if she wants to cast another one, Shishou has to impart another one. I don't know if it's a matter of distance between them, or if it's a matter of those skills not being imparted upon her permanently. And interesting that Shishou can't find her with his skills. The wolf probably will be able to. Also interesting, this situation calls for Shishou revealing his nature to Amanda. I wonder if that's gonna happen. And also, I touched upon it earlier. The separation between Shishou and Fran, similar to the mixing up of the couples in mixing up the partners in Symphogear. We're used to main character has a magic weapon being the status quo, and they just have the magic weapon. We never question that. They just do. We never think of what's gonna happen if they lose it, because they don't lose it. They have the magic weapon. That's just how it is. Same was in Symphogear. When a big group of characters are split into couples or groups, they usually are just split, and that's just a fact. That's just the status quo. You never think of what would happen if they get mixed up, because they never do. And this is a bit of a wake-up call that, hey, a main character with a magic weapon can lose the magic weapon. A group of people split into pairs can get mixed up. I like it. I like it. Crazy how something similar happened in two series I'm watching. And the next episode is the wolf summoned hither. So the wolf is probably gonna save Fran. Find Fran, at least. Okay. I think that's gonna be it. Yeah, fuck. Cables. Hate them. Yeah, that's it. That was a cool episode. I think I said mostly what I wanted to say. We learned a little bit more about the world, a fair bit more actually. It was a very world building and world setting episode, and I'm very much down for that. We know how magic works, all the different branches of magic, what arts are and how they're different from magic, what skills are and how they are different. We know a little bit more about the mechanics of a dungeon. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Fairly slow. Do I want to call it a slow episode? Not really. It keeps pretty much the same exact pace as other episodes of this show, so I can't really call it particularly slow because it's not. It's on par with the other episodes. Uh, yeah, it was just a good episode of the series. I like how Fran's relationship with Amanda changes and grows and is no longer just a comedic relief. I like the other characters. I really do like the Dragon's Roar people. I have no fucking clue how they're planning to go about their lives as adventurers in a party with 4 spear users, without anybody ranged, without any healer, just 4 melee spear fighters. They somehow made it so far though, so I guess there's something to that. There's some method to the madness. Yeah, I think I said everything I needed to say, really. I like what they did here at the end with separating Shishou from Fran. It's something that makes sense, but I didn't expect it to happen this early. And I think that's it. But maybe you guys have something more to add here, and if so, do tell me down in the comments below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers. Please do not spoil me anything. I know further episodes are already out. If you want to talk spoilers, Discord here, also in the description. There's a channel for Tensei Shitara Ken Deshita that you can join and talk spoilers to your heart's content, because I'm not gonna read them because you're gonna use spoiler tags. And as I said, if it's not a spoiler, put it down in the comments. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Tensei Shitara Ken Deshita, but also Symphogear Axis, Gundam Witch from Mercury, management of a novice alchemist, Arknight's Prelude to Dona, and Madoka Magica. I'm gonna be watching Rebellion soon-ish, and it's gonna go up on Patreon first. So that's a segue to perhaps supporting me on Patreon if you want. $10 a month gets you early access to non-seasonal shows like Symphogear, like Madoka, and just $1 gets you a role on the Discord, a place in the credits, and I also sometimes release no seasonal shows a couple days early there as well. Also thrown when you can pitching directly towards my purchase of better gear, better software, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, costs you absolutely nothing, share my content, spread the word. It helps the channel a lot, and you don't need to spend a single cent. And right now, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the list of patrons. And as I mentioned, you can be one of them if only your heart desires.